Coming from the Truspace, we ain't answer to big neighbors. I don't give a fuck what you say. Found the universal coochie, planting seeds and birds fruit. Now I'm really looking juicy. Welcome to the Truspace. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the Truspace. Welcome to the Truspace. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the Truspace. What's good, y'all? My name is Open Book. It's my partner.
Hey guys, this is Harith. Welcome back to Truspace.
Yep, and this is your weekly horoscope, breaking down the alignments that are going to hit us this week. Looking at the 21st, on Monday, we have the moon in Scorpio making a trine with Juno and Neptune. You mean Juno and Pisces? And trine
yeah.
Lilith in Cancer. How do you think this is going to hit us?
So right now we're in the closing cycle for Scorpio season, basically, where we're gonna where we're gonna emotionally react to all our fixated, deep-rooted, and stubborn feelings and emotions that deal with certain vulnerabilities and certain things that deal with behind the scene, like power control issues, money, sex, occult and mysticism, desires, and things of that nature. And as the moon is debilitated here, it's going to be very hard for us to feel these feelings. This is why having this energy trining Juno in Pisces and then Lilith in Cancer is going to be beneficial too, because it's helping us to facilitate our emotion, like move. Basically, Juno is going to allow us to find a dream or illusion and get married to, and then connect to that, while Lilith in Cancer is making us basically deal with our comfortabilities and really initiate a way of really connecting with the dark side of our emotion, which is good since the moon is also debilitated in Scorpio. So this is a really good time to really close down this cycle of Scorpio and really see how you feel after you went through all this deep dark transformation.
For sure. And it's kind of like a primer for Sagittarius season and the new moon energy that goes on, for sure, because that vulnerability that the moon has was going through Scorpio and the pressure and having to emotionally deal with what hasn't been dealt with is what allows you to be optimistic about the future, plan for the future, or to expand into more emotions. So it's like that sensitivity, primes you to really go out there and shoot out there with your emotional state of being, for sure. And then the sun being 29 degrees Scorpio, making a sextile with Pluto. How do you think this is going to hit?
So right now we're seeing what type of opportunities that we could take based through taking power control of our business status and things of that nature, to really how can we basically take our vulnerabilities and what we learn through Scorpio season to really benefit our business status and not hinder this transformation that we need to do when it comes to our public image and things of that nature. If we didn't do that transformation properly, we're not gonna see those opportunities that Pluto is presenting. It's gonna be a difficult situation where Pluto is gonna be presenting us like heavy situations that we need to go through. But if we went through the transformation, like I said earlier, it's not gonna be as intense. You guys gonna see those opportunities with that sextile, which is a good a power combination, Scorpio and then Capricorn. Scorpio deal with power control issues, while Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, a planet deal with structure long term. So it's almost like a call for like longevity and things of that nature.
Interesting. I get what you mean. Yeah, for sure. To preserve yourself, or to renew form for the purpose of more stability, for sure. To transform certain things, or let go of certain things, so that you can be taken more seriously, so that you can have more control in your life. It's funny how Capricorn, I feel like Capricorn and Scorpio, like they would naturally team up, and it would probably be for something negative, like some super villain plot or something like that.
Taking out God. What's between
Yeah.
them? Sagittarius.
That's jokes. That's hilarious. But yeah, for sure. See that? So Pluto and Capricorn. Capricorn wants control. Pluto's power and control, taking power and control, the taking of it. The taking and letting go of it. And Capricorn's like the managing of it. So it's very like energies. So it'll be really easy to make that transformation into that serious, more in control, more stable stated being in Scorpio season than it may be in other ones, because it's already putting us into that vulnerable and uncomfortable situation where we're forced to take action. So Pluto and Capricorn, it being us having to take power and control over the position on our world is really providing us a lot of opportunities right now with how we're seeing the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can use that energy to really get shit together, you know what I mean? In terms of, how, I bet even in Scorpio season, the sun going through Scorpio season, if you ever been embarrassed or feel like your insecurities have been put to the open and people can see them now, this is the time, it's out in the open now, you can't hide anymore. Don't try and put the things that left the closet back into the closet, fuck it, take responsibility for it right now, and you can build something out of it, and you can make it better. Venus conjuncting Mercury in Sag now. How do you think? And that conjunction squares Vista and Pisces. How do you think that's gonna happen?
So we're gonna be the Venus conjuncting Mercury is gonna be heavily around thinking, thinking logically, and then it's gonna be surrounding also like beauty, harmony, connecting. This is like idealistic thought about basically ascending and reaching broader understanding about comes to spirituality, God, which is funny since we're coming from Scorpio season, the darkness which give birth to how far you could rise in Sagittarius. So this is why Scorpio season is so important. The better the transformation, the higher the rise, and things of that nature, which is interesting. The peace dealer calls Scorpio pure energy, but a lot of people don't understand that pure energy could only be created when you did a proper transformation, a proper detox. You cleaned your digestive system, you cleaned your reproductive organs, and that is the bottom base of where the Kundalini energy come from. And if you do a proper detox, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be able to produce pure energy, since your body did proper transformation. So like this is why it's important right now, things of that nature. But either way, back to the topic, Venus conjuncting Mercury is gonna make you think heavily about ways you could communicate about God beautifully, but this is the same energy that might get you lost in communication about what's about God, spirituality, and even talk too much, trying to develop communication about what you want to communicate about and things of that nature. It's going to be hard. Mercury is debilitated here and things of that nature, while Venus does okay here. But Sagittarius might give you very inflated energy, in the sense that you need to experience more to know what you're talking about, since it's deal with Jupiter energy, and you still need to receive knowledge and wisdom instead of always going there and experiencing it and things of that nature. But like this is gonna be an important part for you to experience it, like experiencing the communication aspect of it. You going out there and communicating about your idea about God and things of that nature. And Venus is gonna support you, making you look pretty, making you know how to unify people and things of that nature. And the square to Vesta and Pisces, Vesta deal with I think Vesta deal with marriage and things of that nature. So it's a deal with Pisces as you're getting more connected to what's in your subconscious mind. You're gonna have to learn not to communicate as much, since you have Mercury conjuncting Venus. So you might see all those opportunities, all those beautiful things you might want to get into, but there's more for you to receive. And that's what Vesta is giving you a heads up to, since you're gonna end up squaring Neptune and Jupiter later on. So as you dive deeper and deeper, Mercury and Venus, you don't want to get lost in that energy. I think you know it all. You might understand everything. That's why astros are important. They act as like a mini step up before you feel energy of a bigger object, a planet.
Absolutely, and how expansive it can be, like Mercury and Sag, especially with Venus egging it on. Mercury and Sag will keep on going on and on, and no, Gemini. That's Mercury's ability, to talk like that, and you'll see that through Gemini. But through Sagittarius, Gemini is gonna break down a bunch of little details. Mercury in Sagittarius is trying to break down the whole plot of the movie in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, and then it starts skipping spots. It's like, wait, hold on, wait. How did they get from this point? It's like it's such a large concept that they're trying to talk about that it's so easy to get lost in. But that doesn't mean that it's important for this transit to go through for us to expand our minds. Or sometimes we should take on the more higher conceptual aspects of life and not just stay stuck in specific ruts, but to see how far we can expand our mind. But you can expand your mind into some bullshit, and it has to be within certain pace. And so Venus being there, just egging you on, Mercury and Sag will be like telling you the meaning of life, but it's starting with your trip to the store last Tuesday, and somehow eventually in the story it goes to how the meaning of God, but you have to go through a whole bunch of different. It's like, okay, I have to start at the beginning because this is when I started feeling like this, and then it turns into a whole movie production, a whole trilogy. It turns into the Matrix, coming back up, stuff like that. But lead to a whole bunch of conceptualizing about larger topics, and it'll be very easy to get lost. So just like what you were saying, to not get lost into thinking that you're understanding the whole of things. Don't let yourself get into that, especially Sagittarius energy, Jupiterian energy can easily get that inflated head, the big head, and think that you know more than you actually have experienced. So as long as you're going about expanding your mind, trying to find the expand, more so about the expansion and looking for more experience and looking for more thoughts to play with instead of, running away with them, you'll find more benefit. And then trying with Aries, Chiron in Aries.
So all those so broad experiences that you're gonna receive and communicate about, and you're gonna spend all this energy in, they're gonna benefit Carrier in Aries, which is basically you learning how to express yourself better and seeing who I am, because Carrier in Aries is basically a trauma to the brain and nervous system, preventing you as a spirit observer from using this organ so you can see yourself properly and things of that nature. So when we have all this Sagittarius energy come to Mercury and Venus, Mercury is oxygen and then things of that nature, and then Venus is hormones. So yet all these are helping Sagittarius, which is your muscular system, to basically to circulate this transformation that happened in Scorpio season through basically moving everything. And now this allow you to move some of the tension away from your brain and nervous system, allow you to feel your body as a whole. This
like
is why
fast twitch muscles and stuff like that now.
And I even if you have like heavy energy towards Aries, or you say things that are like I'm always in my head, try to exercise or move your body. You're gonna realize what did you do. Just move the tension around your body and things of that nature. So this is what like this is trying to do, is allowing you to see and create those opportunity to heal yourself through those transformative experiences, to know what to do when it comes to your understanding about God, how to use God, spirituality to understand who yourself, how to heal yourself, basically.
Absolutely, and that's how Monday's looking. Looking at Tuesday, the 22nd of November, we have the Sun entering Sagittarius now. Sagittarius season starting. How do you think this is gonna hit us?
So now our main spaceship, our Sun, which is deal like creativity and self-expression, is gonna go to this whole energy of has the broad and develop broad understanding of God from Scorpio season, and develop really an idealistic way so it could become optimistic, or on the negative side, like it's got to escape reality depending on what you've done in Scorpio season. So that's gonna lead to what you're gonna do in Capricorn season, because right now you can think about Sagittarius season as the break or the mutable point between the fall season and the beginning of winter season, to see what how you could take all these transformative experiences of Scorpio season, develop them into a moral system, a broad understanding, and then go into Capricorn season, develop a business, a status, a public image, and things of that nature. So this is what we can do with our solar plexus, our creativity, our self-expression. So it's gonna be like us developing a higher spaceship.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, this is like the beginning of like the collective signs from Sag to Pisces, where our attention is really on a collective sense. And when you're talking about aspects in terms of morality and religion and stuff like that, that's not you in your personal life. This is how you apply it to your whole experience of the world, into your social interactions and everything. It's that implementation of all around through your life. So it's definitely a broader perspective of that, and this is the beginning of those type of collective mindsets, because you have to have some type of moral system back behind experiences that you have went through that guides you through dealing with larger amounts of people, so you don't lose sense of yourself, and so that you're able to gain knowledge and understanding through your experiences. Absolutely. So huge focus on that. You may hear niggas talking about spirituality, a whole bunch more. Niggas talking about God, their faith and shit like
Atlantis,
that.
Tartaria.
You goddamn right. You're gonna hear a whole bunch of that speech, and rightfully so. That's what's in the air, and it's interesting that Sagittarius has that significance, because that's where the galactic center is, or the direction that it's faced in, and Sagittarius B is what they call it. So, and this is the direction, the center of the galaxy where Muslims pray to and stuff like that. This is the Milky Way galaxy is like really the only galaxy we can see. I swear the other ones are more like theoretical and mathematical, and maybe with high powered telescopes that we're not allowed to use. You can see other type of shit, but with our naked eye here on Earth, that's what you see, that's what you experience. So the center of all of that is controlling the known universe that we see, which is our galactic center. So this is why there's such a connection to spirituality when we're talking about Sagittarius. You know what I mean? And all of that energy, which is interesting. But yeah, the moon conjunct the south node in Scorpio, trining Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. How do you think this is gonna hit? More
So
of
as
that
we
water
dive,
type energy.
yeah, basically we're diving deeper into our emotion and feelings, aka Atlantis. So we go through like a deeper transformation with the conjunction with the south node, and that trying to Jupiter with the Jupiter and Neptune. Obviously, Jupiter is expansion, extracting knowledge and wisdom from what Pisces, which is our dreams, illusion, our subconscious mind. So we know what to do and not to do, aka how to drive our subconscious mind, our spaceship. And Neptune is like the energy to add more mysticism or add more delusion to what we're doing. So it's hard to guide that energy. So as the moon is conjuncting the south node and the moon is debilitated here, you're heavily sensitive to transformation and whatever dreams and illusion you're experiencing here. So what I'm trying to say, you're heavily influenced here, so you're gonna be careful. But this trine is gonna present an amazing opportunity to really deeply transform yourself to what you want to do, and how to take control of your own subconscious mind sensitivity through this deep psychological transformation with Scorpio.
Absolutely. If you don't know where your emotional energy is and haven't been cleaning that up and place it in a better places, like what you're saying, this is very influential energy where your emotions will really move you. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
all emotionally vulnerable or have all of these negative emotions that build up, where they move you may be to a bad place. But if you're confident in even just recognizing negative energy and being able to stay away from it, you can really allow a surrender to take place to your emotions, to your feeling, to allow for the greater understanding to happen, to stop fighting your feelings and emotions, so that you
Mm-hmm.
become one with them and you genuinely understand that. Which is what I feel that shrine could really help deepening um, your connection with your emotions and your past, and in your whole experiences and all of the energy that is accumulated based off of that too. South Node being in Scorpio, uh, the whole time, I bet it's like past trauma, or negative emotions that we hold on to, holding us back with the South Node being there, and stability, being the direction that we're supposed to head into, or being stable in our values is the direction we're supposed to head into. And that leads into the opposition with Uranus, North Node, and Taurus being opposing the moon and in Scorpio. How do you think that's gonna hit?
So as you're going through all these deep emotional things, these subconscious, all spiritual experiences, you're obviously being demanded to focus on the physical world with the Uranus and Taurus, shaking everything, reminding you that you go broke at every moment, that COVID could break out at any moment, and things of that nature. So you gotta learn how to take that energy of uniqueness, originality, and rebel against what's old and outdated through sensing what's right to do physically. But this is why we need obviously Scorpio season. How can you sense what to do and move quick enough and adapt to what you need to do, as Uranus being debilitated in Taurus? It's being very hard for you to direct that energy through your physical structure. That's why you need the transformation in Scorpio, so you could know how to direct that energy better. The more detoxified you are, the less weight you have over with yourself, the easier for you to move, the easier for you to sense, and things of that nature. So the opposition is going to be for you a heavy learning opportunities, to know what to do and what not to do as you head into Sagittarius season, like you closing the cycles and things of that nature, with that axis between Taurus and Scorpio, understanding the value, the physical value versus the emotional value of things.
Very true. It's funny. When I detox, like say you cut out sugar, look out how it increases your senses in terms of tasting sweetness. Now it's like, oh shit, this apple is sweet as hell. When before, when you're having more sugar and other in deeper forms like soda and stuff like that, you wouldn't even notice the sweetness in an apple, something simple like an apple or a simple fruit and stuff like that. So it's for sure, once you take away of all of the accumulation, you're able to have more of a pure sensual experience. When you have less vulnerabilities, you're able to be more sensual with your partner, or with the world in general, for sure, for sure. And then in conjunction with Chiron and Aries, the moon
The,
in Scorpio.
this is basically you not seeing how could this seeing how this emotional vulnerabilities or what you need to transfer could affect Chiron in Aries, because when we Chiron in Aries is in Aries, the masculine side of Mars, while we're having all this transformation in the feminine side of Mars. So we cannot externalize the masculine side of Mars properly without transforming the feminine side of Mars, which where it comes from, and things of that nature. So this is in conjunction of you becoming aware that trauma of your brain and nervous system come from the bottom base of your Kundalini chakra.
Absolutely, and maybe even reminding you of the springtime type energy of when, like, you want to, that spring is gonna come again, or that you want to get rid of, to give you extra boost to fix up your vulnerabilities and your insecurities and your emotional security, so that you can go to war and start a new beginning, come spring season. So it's kind of reminding you about new beginnings, and that energy can be fresh.
Exactly.
So that's how Tuesday's looking. A little bit more optimism because going into Sagittarius, but still heavy water, still heavy, emotionally reacting, really getting a sense of how Scorpio season went for us and how much we were able to detox and what still remains.
Exactly.
But looking at Wednesday, we have the new moon in Sag. How do you think this is gonna end?
So this is now more into this energy like we were talking about earlier, Sagittarius energy, but this is now our emotion really joining. And when our emotion joins, when it comes to the new moon, we're gonna really feel it. Because this is the uh, it's one of those bodies that when it comes to biology that allow us to feel like our body in a very interesting way, like your immune health. You can feel it day to day and how it gets fluctuated with the season. And it's interesting right now how we're now in the fall season and Sagittarius deal with fall energy, so you're gonna feel more into how this Sagittarius energy deal with mutation. How does it affect your immune system? And we know Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, and this deal with inflammation and
Yeah.
alkalinity and things of that nature. So having the new moon right here, this is you understanding what emotional transformation that you need to go through to transform your immune system, your emotional self, to develop better moral system to go into Capricorn season and things of that nature.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This new moon is having you really set the design or intention of what you want to give your faith to. We've experienced a whole bunch of things from spring season up till now in terms of what we wanted to give birth to, what we wanted to sustain life to, what we need to let go of now, and what doesn't sustain us and what we have learned from all of our experiences. So through all of your experiences, whatever you went through, where do you think is the most purposeful, the most meaningful place to place your faith? This is where you set that intention and set that course. And the ultimate test would be obviously the full moon coming up in Gemini. Do your surroundings um, support that intention that you had set for where you're going to give faith to? Do you have the details? Are you able to speak about it? Can you bring it to words? Because if you went through the experience, you could tell me, well, yeah, tell me the story, write it down, make the Bible, make your apocrypha, your little chapter, your book that's part of the Bible, since you actually went through these experiences, where you actually exercise giving your faith there. You'll be able to bring it back. But if you went a little too far with the Sagittarius energy, and it was like, shoot, you may never even be able to come back down to even write it down and pass the story on to a next nigga. You still off there somewhere. So it's really important to. That's why the intention that you set for where you place your faith to, and where you expand yourself into, where you expand your emotions, where you expand your sight of what you pay your attention into. You make it based off of your past experiences and what you have went through and what you already have learned, and then go and based off take all your experiences into account. If you get what I mean, a lot of people write off certain ideas, and this is where suppression comes. This is where what suppresses the rising of the kundalini and stuff like that. What suppresses the third eye chakra, which gives you more of the internal sight of where you're able to really see things. That's the Jupiter energy, where you're able to see things, have internal pictures, which will lead to more creativity and imagination and stuff like that. So make sure you're setting intentions based off of your experiences and being honest about that. Sagittarius is about, there's a lot of honesty that's required for this mutability, because Capricorn's integrity, and it's going to go and check that shit to see the structure of what it is. So you don't want to be expanding some bullshit, because it'll be inflated. If it's inflated, Saturn's going to poke it and it'll come crashing down. So that's why it's important to make it grounded off of what you're experiencing but you'll be surprised at how broad you can expand yourself into once you just give it the chance, using the same foundation that you had your whole life. Don't throw that stuff away. But I feel like that's a big theme for what's going to go on Wednesday, how that new moon will hit us. Looking at Thursday, the moon in Sag is making a sextile with Saturn now in Aquarius. How do you think that alignment's gonna hit?
So whatever emotional transformation we're gonna go through, basically to setting this emotion, this intention, is gonna set what we're gonna do. When it comes to Saturn and Aquarius, it's gonna allow us to see what type of opportunities. It's almost like, since we're building a Saturn Aquarius for so far with our associate, really know what to do, what not to do. I learned, go through the lessons of Saturn, the harshness. This new moon in Sagittarius is gonna allow us to see things from a new way and see opportunities where we could bring all this emotional transformation that we went through in Scorpio, and then add some morality and the Son of God to it, and then bring it into our associate, bring it into what we're trying to build for this Aquarius energy and things of that nature. So it's really adding more colors, creativity into the whole. Saturn Aquarius was very boring, mundane, and then having this new moon Sagittarius is gonna add like a light to it and things of that nature, make it very bright. A sense of optimism. Yeah.
Absolutely. Saturn and Aquarius can bring a lot of responsibility to not even just a feeling of responsibility, but a feeling of responsibility to a large amount of people, to institutions, to social groups, to social causes. A whole bunch of collective type aspects. So Sag coming with a more optimistic perspective, trying to add meaning and a different perspective to things, can help you handle, because Saturn energy is intense. It's even in home in Aquarius, where it likes controlling or being able to put a bunch of people in motion, because it's able to push a whole bunch of things forward now. Saturn's able, oh yeah, shit's happening now. Yeah, here with these niggas doing this shit, and these niggas doing this shit, and these niggas doing this shit. A lot can get done when you're working as on a team like that. The FBI get a lot done. They get shit done. The CIA get a lot of shit done. They don't wait. Whereas elections and all of that stuff, counting ballots, that takes forever. It doesn't take the FBI that long to doing stuff. But Sagittarius gives that fresh perspective, that and more willingness, open emotions, more open to even looking at ourselves in a collective aspect, to accept the responsibilities that are set out. So this is a real positive spin on teamwork makes the dream work, and it really helps us push things forward. Sag is about shooting forward, expanding, and Saturn and Aquarius is about expansion, or about moving things forward. So Aquarius is very forward moving as well. And then the moon in Sag is now squaring Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces. How do you think that square is gonna hit?
So you gotta be careful as you emotionally react to all those experiences that you want to express about God's spirituality, because this square is gonna bring you a learning opportunity coming from Neptune and Pisces. Basically, you learning more about your subconscious mind, how what basically learning how you use subconscious mind. Neptune is like very foggy, but now having moon in Sagittarius, that square is gonna make things more foggy for you. So like CG was saying earlier, we better set proper intention and understand how far to go and how far not to go when it comes to expressing ourselves and our understanding, which is gonna be just limited. So, and things of that nature. This is what the square is trying to tell you. Wait a little bit. You don't know everything yet.
Yeah.
It's a new moon, but still you got a long time to go to.
And to enjoy the experience. Really, with Sag, you'll get so lost in terms of, like One Piece reference. Maybe you would get so lost in being king of the pirates, but you didn't realize you met a bunch of, people along the way that made the journey worthwhile. It was the story of going along. Or you wanted to become president, or you wanted to become whatever this, you wanted to become that, and you get lost in that vision for the future and imagining and being optimistic about that you don't enjoy or soak up the knowledge and wisdom of the journey and experience that is around you, for sure. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of wisdom and knowledge that are around you, that are coming from the people around you on Thursday. So really being open to accepting new perspectives, even if it's someone coming in a way that you don't know, you may be able to find meaning and reasoning and really draw something from it. And it's going to be a challenge, but you'll find out that you came out the better because of it. And that's Thursday. Looking at Friday, Pluto in Capricorn is opposite Lilith. How do you think that alignment is?
So Pluto and Capricorn, us taking power and control of our public status, our business and things of that nature, which we've been doing for a while. Very harsh, very serious, very dry. And then the opposition to Lilith in Cancer, us getting comfortable with the dark side of our emotion. And this is opposition. This is very dark, very grimy.
Very
just
dark.
to you, yeah, very grimy. Like when you mix Pluto and Lilith energy, it just things gets like very intense and things of that nature. But Pluto and Capricorn says if you've been doing the proper transformation, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable. But this is all about creating uncomfortability, so you could go create comfortability, which is very important. But that comfortability needs to start at home, family, your domestic issues, which a lot of people do not think about when it comes to creating business. Like if you don't have a proper home foundation, you would never create a proper business status. How if you don't know how to create a home for yourself, how would you create a home for other people? This is why it's even though it's an opposition, but it's a very similar energy.
Absolutely. People don't realize before we have ideas like parliaments and the government structures that we have now, we had kingdoms and monarchies. And look at the structure of a monarchy: king, queen, prince, and princess. It's a family. It's a home. So that was the level of understanding that we came at things, and this is the axis between Cancer and Capricorn. You know, the home and then the public life. Initially, we made the public life the highest representation, the same structure as a family, because that's how we understood. We all could understand what a good king, good queen, good prince, good princess would be through looking at our family and our home life, and what a good husband, and what a good mom, what a good daughter, what a good son, and how those things play out. So that's where all of those ideas came from. So they definitely do play hand in hand like that. Absolutely. Very intense too. Whereas you see maybe your home life is what's getting in between you, the darker, deeper emotions that you have around your home life, getting in between you having control of the larger aspect of your life, of the public life, and having to deal with that. So it can be very intense. It can be very intense and emotional. And I wouldn't say not let it out, especially its Venus state. So maybe a lot of times, especially with Cancer, emotions get built up, and when the Cancer builds up emotion, it ends up, they put you with a Kamehameha wave. I heard Dolo call it. Eventually, it's like a powerful. They're cardinal signs, and I mean, if they don't get like that, they turn more into a Scorpio, and you get the pinching. So. You don't want to hold on to certain things like that, and not hold yourself too accountable if you react too long, because that's very intense energy going on. So it may play out as a negative situation. Just know to make sense of it after, to let that energy go. If it was negative, you purged it and it's gone now. So that's how Friday could be looking. Looking at Saturday, we have the moon conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn, more of this energy, and then making a trine with Uranus and the North Node in Taurus. How do you think this energy?
So we're gonna be emotionally reacting to initiating practicality, structure, business, and status, a public image coming from what we decided to do with the new moon Sagittarius. What type of broader understanding and of God that we reached. So the moon in Capricorn is gonna be us taking that and making a business plan out of it. okay, I understand this corresponding with this corresponding, but how can I utilize it now? It's something practical that could go into it comes to the beginning of winter season instead of something that I just could preach about, something practical and things of that nature. So as the moon conjunct Pluto and Capricorn, this is you being very serious about this, about doing that and putting your emotion aside and really taking proper control of your emotions so you can move your bones, which is kind of interesting since a lot of people say Capricorns could be quite lazy, but they're not lazy. It's just that they need something really important to move themselves through. They would never like skip work and things of that nature, but like small detailed things that like take care of your diet, things like playing video games and things of that nature. They may not pay attention to it. It gotta be something be heavy, have a heavy, serious nature to it.
Where they feel responsible for it, that's where it'll be. Where they have integrity, they don't give a fuck about it, and they don't feel responsible. Yeah, you're not gonna get that ambitious side, I bet. Yeah.
Exactly. So as you basically take this emotional integrity for your business and your status, you basically you seeing the opportunities you could do with Uranus and Taurus, what uniqueness and originality you could apply to your values and things of that nature to look original and maybe develop a better public image and things of that nature as we head to Aquarius Aquarius basically age where we can associate what we're doing right now basically.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's hard to try and bring emotion to that public stage. That's like caring about what people think about you, which is dangerous territory.
Go to work. Basically, that's Capricorn, the 10th house. See how people display emotion, and how dry you become, and things of that nature.
Exactly, and how hard it is to give a crap. You know what I mean, or to let yourself be vulnerable, and to feel good in those spaces. It's hard, but especially when you're being scrutinized by the public and everything is visible. But there's information to gather there, and even though it may be uncomfortable and it may be intense, you think that you can't use that for practical purposes, but you can. You can. This is like reading the negative comments. This is like reading, and it's only skills. Either it can make you feel like your position is being attacked, or make you want to dry up and take away your emotions when you're receiving the criticism or your position is being attacked, or it can let you know, okay, this is the negativity that people are saying. Maybe I can say things in this way or in that way, and it's like you're having more control of your emotions instead of being sensitive to them like that. You are being executive with your emotions. Be like, okay, I'm not gonna react like let's see what's being, and then now you're managing the water. You're putting shape and form to the water instead of being victim to it. If you get what I mean, and that's Capricorn at the highest level. For sure, when it's able to operate, that's the biggest challenge that it's able to do, to allow itself to be emotional, but it's only emotional for certain things. It shapes the water, it sets the tone for its vulnerability or for its emotionability, for it to display its more private side. Yeah, for sure. And then the moon in Capricorn is going to square Chiron. I think that's going to
So as you're emotionally taking responsibility of your business status, you're gonna go through learning opportunities with that square to know how much transformation you need to actually do. So you could basically take care of Chiron in Aries, since Chiron in Aries is a brain trauma and things of that nature. So it's very hard for you to see what you need to do and what not to do. So it ends up playing as you creating a lot of mistakes, but these mistakes end up teaching about yourself. But these mistakes are gonna come from you taking more responsibility about your business and status, which is gonna allow you to direct the neurological impulse through your brain and nervous system, which begins everything, the shelter your brain nervous system, which is what your skull, Capricorn, the 10th house, your public image and things of that nature. So you could think about it that way.
That's facts. A lot of people don't ever really know who they really are. What was the saying? It was in Matrix, I believe. The nigga was fighting Neo, one of the oracles, the Asian nigga. The sidekick of the Oracle was an Asian nigga. But he was like, he fought Neo when they first introduced. It was on a friendly tip or whatever it was. He was just getting to know him, and he was like, you don't really know someone until you fight them. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, yo, that's true, and maybe not necessarily in the fist fight sense, but there's another side to a person that you've never seen unless they're adversary to you. What would they do to an enemy? What would they do to someone that they don't like? You know, if you're always on the good side and gracious, you've never seen that side. You never met that side um, of them before. You know, so definitely when things get more serious, more adversarious, more heavy, more weight, you learn a lot more about yourself, or there's a real more tests of individuality and another person's individuality as well. So yeah, a lot of responsibility, a lot of seriousness, and it's Saturn day too, and in the moon's in Capricorn. So it may be a day of severe restrictions. But like what I said, Capricorn at the highest level, it sets the tone for the constrictions. It's not being constricted. It's setting the tone for the conservation. It's not being conserved. You know what I mean? So try and take that position. Take responsibility for you to take control of the situation on Saturday. Looking at Sunday, the moon in Aquarius is sextiling Jupiter in Pisces. How do you think this will hit?
So right now we're gonna be emotionally reacting to being fixated and rooted with and stubborn about our associate, the people who we connected to when the moon was in Capricorn, aka building our business plan. Then the moon went to the Aquarius. This is us going and communicating and getting the associate and the people that we need to go rebel with for this business plan that we built when the moon was in Aquarius, based on the moral system that we came up to in the moon in Sagittarius and things of that nature. But this sextile, we have also a sextile to Jupiter and Pisces. Actually, that's it wrong. The moon Aquarius sextile Jupiter and Pisces.
Oh, moon in Aquarius? Oh no, because it's fresh in Aquarius, so it's coming from Capricorn, going into Pisces, and then Pisces is just came from Aries. So because it's close degree, but it's overlapping of them.
Yeah, because it's like a sign. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah. So this is gonna be actually quite interesting. Where we're gonna see the opportunity to really mix our associate based upon our subconscious mind and what we expanded. We should definitely peep game to this one. How we subconsciously expand when it comes to our mind is gonna be how we gonna emotionally connect with our associate. So it'll be quite interesting.
Absolutely. And you can, because Jupiter came from Aries, we were trying to start the self journey, trying to do the self start, trying to start a new journey. And that's why with Jupiter in retrograde, we are now looking at our whole experience in general, our subconscious mind, going back to experience our conscious mind to remind ourselves of the morality that we established, the wisdom we established that set us off on our journey of individuality. So moon in Aquarius is probably trying to help more of the Aries aspect, that expansion of self, because Aquarius is very forward moving. So it's trying to help with that motion, the forward moving motions, by especially the moon in Aquarius. I feel like I met a couple moon in Aquariuses, and in tarot it's the Seven of Swords, with the person stealing the swords from people. It's kind of like you know more information than you lead on. A Sun Aquarius tells you that they know more information than you. You know what I mean? They'll tell you that. They'll call you stupid. They'll let you know that they know something that you don't know. Moon in Aquarius would be like, I know something that you don't know, but I'm not gonna say that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like having information to yourself, or having a channel or access to information. Subtle, it's like a subtle connection to information. So it kind of works out with that moon energy, creating more opportunities for you to see the subtle information that you can take from Jupiter and Pisces, aka, experiencing your whole thing. It's kind of giving you extra ability to sort out through large amounts of information and be able to see what's most important, or where your emotions really lie at this current point in time. So there's a whole bunch of collective energy, but you're able to navigate it with a little bit more ease. There's an opportunity for you to take a lot of information around lots of collective ideas and people, incorporate it for your own individual use. And then the moon in Aquarius is sextiling Sag, kind of adding on to that type of energy too. I think that'll play out.
So this is definitely allowing you to add really your understanding of God, and what you develop is on your moral system as you're exiting from Scorpio season into the Sun into Sagittarius, and this allowing you to see the opportunity to how to utilize when it comes to your associate, how to make a better future. Because when it comes to, we speak about Aquarius, we talk about how can we further humanity, but sometimes the further of humanity depends on like us understanding like a better moral system, which could make things less boring, more colorful, much more creative, and things of that nature. So this is going to be important for us to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is using that information that we were talking about before. That subtler information about how you feel about the world in general is going to help you create more opportunities for you to, have the right experiences, make the right connections. The how you emotionally respond to social groups in general is going to shape what you pay attention to, or what you attach your spirituality to in general. So this is kind of like a broadening, showing you the vast network of information that you have to attach morality to, that you have to find your spirituality in, instead of you trying to find your spirituality and just the only things that you have seen. Say if the moon was in Leo, the opposite sign. If the moon was in Leo, you would be more establishing, it would be more of your personal expression. But this is how other people are reacting to your emotions. Now you can connect with other people, how you emotionally respond to other people at large, and to being around other people, and the information that it comes with, all of that. So it really may help you extract a lot of information. I see a lot of understanding happening on Sunday, a lot of connection, and understanding may happen where. And remember, the moon is in Aquarius, so you may not have to express all of this, or talk about it, but there's still that underlying knowledge. You may get a little knowledge to it, or a little download on Sunday on how you can incorporate or better act amongst people in a more happy, more productive way. And you don't have to be all excited about it, all kids about it, but there'll still be information for you to be able to use.
I heard Dole talk about how Sag energy and Aquarius energy is very similar. How they're trying to, because they're both trying to expand in freedom and things of that nature. Like when you think about what both of them are trying to do, Aquarius trying to revolt and progress reality, and then Sagittarius trying to tell people about God and expand our concept and our imaginations. This guy, they do something very similar.
Absolutely, absolutely, for sure. For sure. And yeah, that's how the week is looking, guys. Hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you fuck with the video. give us comments, talk to us, let us know what you want to hear, any ideas that you would have. We would very much appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram, Truspace underscore. Check out our website, truspace.biz. And, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Take care.